Oh, that's a first. I came on mute. Anyway, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the live. Right, this is not one of my usual chats tonight, so I'm just going to wait for a few people to catch up and come in the room. And hopefully I'm on the right one. And I have some invites to send out, so bear with me just a sec. I've just got to go to here, send that. And just find a person who I'm going to invite along, because we are going to have a special guest tonight. And I haven't told you about this yet. This is a secret. I love secrets. I love surprises. And it's Christmas. We've got surprises. I love it. So we have a special guest coming on for a brief moment tonight, not for too long. But welcome to the room. Thank you. And this is the live. Oh, wow, I just can't believe I'm finally here. I can't believe that this moment is about to happen, because this has been 26 years in the making. I'm just going to get some boxes up there with me. All right, I have here boxes and packages. Look at this. Wow. I'm having to come in on the computer tonight. Oh, we got comments already. Let me see who's in the room. Oh, hi, Yvette. Hi. So, yes, what was I saying? Oh, I'm having one of those moments tonight. I really am. 26 years to get to this part of the journey. Unbelievable. And it just seems so surreal to finally be sitting here with this package and the whole outcome of that 26 years is in a book in here. And it's like, that's a long time. Well, actually, it's not 26 years. 26 years is the journey we've been through. Right from basically when Matthew was born, and I felt things were a little different with him even as a baby. And over time, that we just had so many problems, but it was sort of from the age of 15 onwards that it got really the most difficult time of all. And that was how we came about having to create what is in this book, was to find him a way through. So I know it's 7 o'clock, but I'm hoping we'll get a few more people in the room. And there's a couple of people I want to come along and join in who should be here. And I'm just going to send another invite to somebody who might join me on the actual live if I'm lucky. I might be able to get a couple of guests on tonight. Let's see what we can do. And I'm wondering if where is she? I can see. Oh, I've misspelt it, that's why. Live for a few minutes. Right, we'll see. May not. We'll give it a go. But I'm going to see if we can get some more people in. So hi and welcome to the room, everybody. Pop some highs in the comments tonight so I know who's here, because I just see a little eye with a number beside it otherwise. And I know there are people here, but I don't know who's here. It'd be great to know who's in the room with me. Otherwise, it feels quite lonely. I know Yvette's here, and I'm always guaranteed Yvette's front row, bless her, and I'm so grateful. Right, tonight I am going to unbox these, but I just want a few more people to come and join us. And I'm going to sign 2 live tonight once I know the people are here. So if Tosin's in the room, I want Tosin to say hi, so I know he's here, because I want him being sure he's watching before I sign it. And Matthew, if Matthew's watching, I want to know as well. And then once I've done those, I've got some other copies to sign. I'm going to go and sit over on the table and do them after the video over the next couple of days. And I'll get them out as soon as I can after Christmas. So I've got a few others I've got to give away. And one of them will be to Yvette. Yvette has absolutely earned a copy of this book, because bless her, she has sat through every single one of my 28-day live video challenges, the 3 of the first 52-week challenge. And she's here tonight. She's been on every single video I've done, and it's amazing. And I'm so grateful to have had a friend, she's an old neighbour of mine, bless her, but I'm so grateful Yvette has been with me through this whole journey. Well, I've done all of these live talks, and you're very welcome, sweetheart. She says, bless you, thank you. You're very welcome. So one copy of this will be going to Yvette, and just to build the anticipation, there'll be another little something arriving with your copy, Yvette. So a little gift there for you as well, but I've been holding back on delivering it to you because I want to put a book with it. So yes, so just briefly, let me see if I can pick up some, where are we branding? I'm going to show you some bits. So let's start with this, and then I've got to decide which way to move the camera. Voila! This is what we are talking about tonight, Brain Unchained. So Brain Unchained is basically is a 3-step system for learning emotional awareness. And this is where I've developed a colour system over time, because I found that with my son, with Matthew, that I was really struggling to get him to understand the concept of managing emotions. I mean, everybody has emotions, we can guarantee that. Right? Everybody has emotions, good, bad, indifferent. And the difference is whether or not we can actually manage them. So the first thing was actually helping my son to find a way to manage his emotions, because he definitely had plenty. He had an overdose of emotions, but they were just all the wrong ones. And it was just about finding this way. And it was when he was about 19, I think, I suddenly thought, you know what, he's a visual learner. I need a way for him to be able to see it. But how do you teach emotions in a way that somebody can see them? And that was where this came from. So if I get this right tonight, I'm getting good at this. Right over the side there is the little colour wheel. And that is the emotional cycle that everybody in the whole wide world has going on up here. That's the cog in your brain that's spinning around, going through all those emotions. And you might be going through all the emotions at once over different topics. So every subject and every different part of your life you're dealing with will have one of these little cogs going around as an emotional cycle. So that was where I started with the system 5 years ago, was teaching Matthew to understand what his emotions look like, and then why he changed between his emotions. What changed in the world around him and what changed within him? What were his thoughts, his feelings, his beliefs? And we gradually built up on that. And then it wasn't until later on, after Matthew had recovered quite quickly, just using that. But then as I started to develop that system and planned on writing the book, over time, I evolved more strategies along the back end of it, and came up with 2 more tiers to the model. So it became the emotional cycle model and 2 more tiers with it. And the second one is about understanding change, and that change can be a challenge, it can be a choice. So you can either accept change, you can challenge it, and the difference is the choice. So whatever changes in life, or whatever changes you want to make, it's about understanding, first of all, that there are only 5 types of change in the whole world you can face. So as everybody says about when you've got problems, break it down. But sometimes it actually helps to do the complete opposite first. Chunk it up and find the real key starting point. Where are we starting from? And I'm going to give you a very quick run through. These are things like health. So I would still get muddled up. See, that is my left, but on the camera it's pointing right, and it throws me every time. It's so funny. It's like looking in a reverse mirror. So with health, emotions, logical, physical, and social. And it was about understanding how all of these changes affect your emotions. And then it wasn't until I was almost finished developing that part of the system, I said, oh, there's another part to it. And that is that every single one of the changes in life has one of 5 root causes. So by this point, I realized that this has pretty much completed a model, which means we, first of all, have to recognize why being aware of emotions is important. And being aware of emotions is like, imagine you've got a flat tire, but you're not aware of it. Are you going to fix it if you're not aware of it? No, of course not. And it's exactly the same with emotions. We have to be aware of them before we can do anything to heal them, mend them, repair them, or manage them in the best way possible. So it was, sorry, I just realized I'm missing the comments again. So it was about recognizing that, first of all, is that you need to be aware. But like the flat tire on a car, it's okay to be aware, oh, I've got a flat tire. But being aware of it doesn't do anything to fix it. You need to change the tire. What changed to the tire was it went flat. What you need to do is put a new tire on to change it back. But you could start by pumping it up. So you pump the tire up. So it's taking action. You change something, you pump it back up again. It went flat, you pump it up. But it just go flat again if you haven't actually found out the root cause of why it's gone flat. And it's the same process with emotions. And this book is what takes you through these steps of awareness. First of all, awareness, finding out what changed and finding the root cause so you can then reverse it back through. So just to read, I'm going to read through more of that later. I'm going to take this off. I've got to find this. I'm still getting used to this StreamYard. It's brilliant. And a quick look at the comments. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Oh, Dawn, so looking forward to finding out more about your book. Oh, thank you. Yes, right. Let's start. But before I do, I have got another secret in the background. And I have there's somebody waving at me from down the bottom of the screen here. And I am now going to bring somebody else on screen as a little surprise for you before I unbox these, because I want them on the screen when I do it. Are you ready? Here we go. Hi,
Hello.
Matthew. This is Matthew. That way. How are you, darling?
Doing all right, Mum. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. And that says enough. He says, hello, you're all right, Mum. Yeah, this is my son, Matthew. And a lot of people over recent weeks have heard me talk so much about the book and being based on, obviously, the depression that you went through.
I can't say what I heard wasn't a bit embarrassing.
It wasn't.
It was. You know what I mean?
I wasn't. Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I'm sorry. It's not meant to embarrass you in any way. I can if you want me to.
I'm pretty sure you could. Let's save some of those stories for another time.
Yeah. So anyway, Yvette says, hi, Matthew. Merry Christmas to you. You know Yvette.
Hello. How you doing?
Yeah. So yes, Matthew, bless him. Matthew had a rough journey, didn't you? And I do often wish I could give you your childhood back to live again and do it over in a completely different way. And if I could have,
I don't think the same. It's made me who I am. If I didn't take which I have taken, I wouldn't have the family I've got now.
That's very true. That's very true. And you have a lovely family there. You do. Yeah. Very beautiful family. And I'm just trying to work out where you're sitting because it doesn't look the usual place.
Giveaway.
Sorry?
The mirror not a giveaway? I'm sitting in the hallway at the desk.
Oh, you're in the hallway. I was going to say, it didn't look like the usual part of your living room. You're sitting in your hallway. Oh, bless.
Be an excuse to tidy up the desk for a change.
Brilliant. And you've got a smart jacket on. Look at this. He's turned up all prim and proper tonight. Lovely.
So somebody went and let the heater out. I'm cold.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, so it's been absolutely brilliant. Yes, there are times I do wish that I could give Matthew his childhood back to live over again. But as he said, it has made him who he is. And we were sitting in Fakenham in the sunshine a few years ago, weren't we? Would have been about 4 years ago, actually. And Matthew finally said to me, he said, I'm so glad you never gave up on me. He said, I now realised.
You don't need to charge yourself.
Right.
Sorry, the cat that's behind the tablet playing with batteries.
Oh, you got the cat there. Oh, bless. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a few years ago that Matthew sat in Fakenham and we sat in the sunshine. He's put his arm around me and said, I'm so glad you never gave up on me, Mum. And can you remember the quote you said?
Something to do with cupcakes or cakes or ovens.
No, the one about steel.
Oh, you bake muffins in the oven, you forge steel in the furnace.
Okay, there's another one. Wow, you come out with them all over the place. Yeah, there's that one as well. But no, the one he said to me on this particular day was, he said, I've now realised why steel is forged in a fire. Because the more you go through it, the tougher you get.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yep, that was the one you said to me that day. And I thought, you know what? That was the day that I knew we were on safe ground again. We really were on safe ground again because, you know, I had so many years of obviously trying to keep you safe, or felt like I was trying to constantly keep you afloat you were literally drowning in all these horrible emotions. And that was the day when you said that to me, I thought, finally, you get it. You're set for life. And I felt that day like I could breathe and I could relax. Because, I mean, now you've got a little girl, I imagine you can appreciate more how you'd feel if she was then going through that.
Yeah, I got understanding how to deal with it if it ever comes around. Which
Yeah.
hope will not.
And how you can feel as a parent going through that. So I'm really glad you joined me tonight. Lovely. Right. I think we've kept everybody waiting for quite a while.
Yes,
I don't know if Tosin's
here
yet. Tosin was going to come. I was hoping Tosin was going to come on, but I haven't seen him yet. So yeah, I am now going to open some packages. You're welcome to stay on the screen if you like while I do it.
Go for it.
All right, here we go. So as I just explained to anybody who missed the other bit earlier, I have 3 packages here, right? Now, I know there are 3 versions of the book. There's a full colour print, there's a black and white print, which reduces the cost a little bit, and there's a Kindle one. But I don't think the Kindle one's sent in an envelope, so I'm waiting to find out what the third envelope's all about. And I don't think they've sent me a Kindle.
Yeah, I'm confused on that one.
So here we go. I am now going to open the first. Oh, I'm going to open the first package. I've got a tiny little bit. Here we go. I'll clear the rubbish up later. This is where I get to find out which one's in the first package. Look at this.
Full colour.
There it is. Oh, well, they're all full colour on the cover. It's more about what's inside. And this is a black and white one.
Oh.
I get that in the right place. So this is going to be a black and white version. So now I can finally show people what's in the book instead of just plastering the cover all over Facebook and all social media and everywhere else. Because everybody's seen the cover and some people have seen the back cover. Look at that. Wow. It's got a little bit on there as well saying about free. It was not the book's free, sorry. Free downloadable worksheets inside. And what it is actually the website's printed inside. And the website I will be releasing in a little while as well. But so far, all I've done is shown people the cover. I can finally show people what's inside. This is, wow. This is, well, actually, the first 19 pages you can read on Amazon. So I'm going to skip past that. So it starts off like here, like what's the mood mentor, gives you an introduction. There's some pictures in here of this is what is classed as the mood mentor model. And when I was explaining a little while ago about a 3-tier system, oh, bless. Hi, Christina. It's lovely to see and hear from you both, Kay and Matthew. Oh, Christina's been a friend of Heidi and Matthew's for years. She knew both of you at school, didn't she? So, it's really, really lovely to see you here, darling. Really is. I'm so glad. Yeah, all the way through to the book. Wow. So as I was saying about the emotional cycle model, which is up there over Matthew's head now. And then the changes and the root causes options are now what make up the mood mentor model. That is this. And then each of these sections makes up one of the chapters. So this is 4 chapters in here. Do you know what this camera just... It's like one of those bicycles where you turn left to go right. It's like it's back to front. So there's 4 chapters. The introduction's quite a sturdy introduction because it really introduces a lot of concepts that are quite key to understanding before you go into the actual lessons of the model. And that includes things like meeting yourself, the expert. And this is one of the really important things I want people to understand. Meet yourself, the expert. Everybody says, well, they don't know me like I do. And, a lot of teenagers are like, oh, parents don't really understand me. And you're right, they don't. If you're a teenager, you are your own expert. But the only thing is you haven't had the lessons in how to actually put that into best practice yet. So there are lots of ways in this book to help bring that through to the front and you understanding that, yes, you are your own expert. But make that a lesson, not a curse. Make it something to build on and make it something positive. And then at the end of every little section throughout the book, I have these parent toolbox bits here because this book is written in 2 ways. It's written as if I'm having a conversation, as if I was with Matthew or any teenager, young adult. Imagine we're sitting across the table and we're having a conversation. And I think one of the biggest things that I mention in the book, that you and I, we sort of developed our own strategy for, didn't we, over time, was there were times when I'm your mum. That's it. Well, I am your mum. But there were times when I switched role and I went into mentoring. And we always made it quite clear the difference between the two when we started a conversation.
Yeah.
And we still do that now, don't we? Is we'll sit down and say, we just have a chat. We talk about some of the strangest things when we're in mum-son mode. We have some really, really interesting conversations about all sorts of weird stuff.
Oh,
but when we're in
yeah.
mentoring mode, we set the intention of that conversation at the start, because that makes the difference between nagging and actually having a really constructive conversation from the outset. Nearly spilt my coffee everywhere. So that was one of the really, really important ones about understanding the mentoring side. So this book is me using the same strategy of mentoring to have that conversation through the book with you as a teenager.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the little bit at the end of each part that says Parent Toolbox is the bit that is me talking to another mum who's going through what I went through, to give them strategies to help their children or their teenagers and young adults the way I helped you. So I actually approached this book. Sorry?
Not necessarily just for mothers, single parents or individuals.
Yeah, that is true for anybody. So anyone who is, ultimately anyone who's caring for a teenager or young adult with depression, whatever form that comes in. For you, that was, I know, suicidal depression. It was not an easy topic. But for others, that might be addictions. It might just be stuck in the room. They might be playing Xbox 23 hours of the day and stuck on mobile phones. They might be self-harming. It might be eating problems. Oh, hi, Julian. Hi, thank you. I'm so glad you joined. Julian Hammond is one of my speaking mentors when I did the TEDx 3 years ago. And I honestly would never have achieved anywhere near the quality I did without his input. I had 5 mentors for one speech and they were ruthless, but do you know what? Sometimes that's what it takes to make you a better person. And it made me a better speech out of it. To have 5 people, honestly, I sat there for one evening, we got on Skype and I did a 10-minute talk and they pulled it apart for an hour and a half. And I was like, no, enough's enough. But it's what helped me to grow. And sometimes you have to do that, is to sit and reflect and learn from what you're doing. You have to sit and look back at it. And wow, yeah. I tell you, that was a powerful experience to go through. But I'm so glad you're here tonight, Julian, because you've been involved with this journey from me from about 4 years ago. And again, Julian and I have had some really in-depth conversations about emotions at times. No, not too ruthless. Too ruthless, I would have kicked you out of the room. Just ruthless enough, it made me improve the speech every time we went through it. So here we go so far. The Mood Mentor Model, Toolbox Tips. And then the other bit I want to show people is there are lots of areas in the book like this as well. And this is why I want to understand the difference between this and Kindle. About this was exercises in the book. So I talk through a page. This is very bright light in here. So I'll talk through some pages. And then I'll ask some questions, and there's areas to write things down. And then by the time you get to the back of the book, I become a bit more ruthless, a bit like I did with you. And I ask loads of questions, and you get lots of exercise sheets. So it's sort of a progress book like this. And what I plan on doing is when I release the website tonight is because of the Kindle version, and I'm aware you can't write the answers in the Kindle version, I'm going to do some downloadable worksheets to put on the website, and I'm going to have them ready. The launch, the official launch tonight is just a first book signing, and I've released the book this week, but I'm going to do a big celebratory launch from the 19th of January, and it'll be for 5 days, and the Kindle price will be reduced for those 5 days. But that gives me time between now and then, because originally I wanted to do it on the 2nd of January, but I couldn't get the price reduction from then, like the approval through Amazon. So it's got to be the 19th onwards. That will give me time to get the worksheets ready. So as I do the promotion on the Kindle, the worksheets will then be ready on the website so that you can read it on the Kindle and do the worksheets separately, and download and print your own. I've just got some messages coming through. Oh, right, okay. Come back to that in a minute. Right. I'm going to share the website in a minute, and I'm going to put the screen thing on, but I'm not going to kick Matthew off just yet. So this altogether 4 chapters of absolutely strategic information about how to manage emotions. There's lots of quotes as well. Let me see if I can read a quote. Here's one by Jim Rohn. It's in the bit about taking care of yourself. Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn, before I say this quote, I heard something the other day about him because I didn't know a great deal about him. But Jim Rohn was a guy who helped mentor one young lad who was going through a tough time. And he had no idea about the ripple effects of helping this one person. And this one person that he helped mentor became Tony Robbins, who is the world's leading NLP coach. Yeah. And he has helped millions of people around the globe to transform their lives. So you never know when you help one person where it's going to lead to. And I could say the same for the people that have helped me in the past by sharing self-help books with me that have then led to me seeing patterns that have helped Matthew until we've eventually come up with this book. So never underestimate the power of even sharing the title of a book with somebody, because you never know how big a gift that can be at times. And I think when you think about that in terms of, one of my managers told me about Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in that was one concept about understand before being understood. And that's one you and I had quite lengthy discussions over, wasn't it? You remember that? Yeah. And then we found a TED talk by Brian Miller. He's a magician in Canada. And if you've never seen it, it's literally this magician doing a TED talk with magic on stage and talking about connecting with people. And he does it based around this concept from Stephen Covey about understand before being understood. And that became such a huge part of our progress so you never know when paying it forward is going to help. So somebody telling me about that book led to us understanding that video in a completely different way. And I ended up actually featuring Brian Miller in my TEDx talk and connecting with him, which is amazing. So if you want to connect with somebody, they're out there. Everybody's online to be connected with. The only thing stopping you is what's in here. So it's been brilliant. My goodness, we've been nearly half an hour so far, Matthew, and I've only opened one packet. I need to get on, don't I? So
Yeah, you
let's
do.
go to the next. That's the black and white print. I'm just loving having your company. So next one, here we go. Let's probably be another black and white one, I reckon. Here we go. Let's go on for another one. And whoops, I have a label in with this one. Ready? Well, we'll just show this one again first. That's that one, black and white. And this one is the colour version.
Pretty high quality. I like
We
that.
have full colour, and this one is a lot dearer. So whenever you get to any part in the book with the diagrams in, they're in full colour in this one. So the difference is this one is in the UK, this one is going to be £19.99, and this one is £25.99 because it costs. And I don't make much off of this one. I really don't, because most of that is just print cost. It is very expensive to do the full colour. So it's like even on the titles on these, they got the little red lines under. So there's just little bits of colour throughout it as well. There we go. Somewhere in there is the Mood Mentor model. I'm trying to find it. So yeah, look, got a little heart in there. You'll have to search through the book for the heart. I'll find it in a minute. Yeah, so basically all the way through you get little colour bits in here, and there are some other diagrams as well, but I can't find them at the moment. So that's number 2, a black and white. and a colour copy. So I wonder which one of the two. I think this will be another black and white one for some reason, but let's have a look. Package number 3, the mystery package. Sorry?
So finally, that's all I've been waiting around for. I want to know what that is.
Ah. It is, as I thought. It's another black and white copy. So it's a repeat. I think it's just a case of there was one too many to go in the box. So that is the books. Wow. So I have 2 black and white copies here. These 2, which I'm going to sign. And I've got the colour one here, but I only have 1 colour copy. And that's so that I can use this for all my talks and things. And then the colour copy is available to buy online. I've got to also say a massive thank you, as well as to Matthew, for understanding the importance of us sharing our backstory. It's been amazing. Is a big thank you to Tosin Oganusi, who, let's say, when I rang him on the 12th of November and said I want my book out by spring, I forgot that I was not just ringing or speaking to a book mentor. I was speaking to the UK's leading empowerment coach. And wow, didn't he put some empowerment into me? And the book's here. Look, it's here. It's not even Christmas, or barely Christmas. So thank you to Tosin. Also thank you to Laboshi, if she's watching or catching up later, because Laboshi is the agent who has been absolutely by my side throughout this, on Zoom conferences and calls and emailing literally from like 8 in the morning through to midnight at times, just to make sure we get this here before Christmas. Oh my goodness. Oh, I found that's the other bit in colour. The mood mental model. Found it. So yeah, so I'm going to put the colour one to one side for a minute so I don't accidentally sign the wrong one. Put one over there. And then I have here a box full, but I won't open them right this minute because we've been a while, and that will be all black and white ones in there. And I've got more coming later. So coming back to earlier, I've still got your book here. This is Matthew's book he wrote when he was 13, The Red Dragon, A New Evolution. And I tagged the red pen on it because that's your power colour. I knew you'd pick red when I said to him earlier, what colour do you want your book signed in? He said, red.
What do you think, the red decorations?
Ah, yeah. I think red's always been your colour though, isn't it?
Yeah, don't know why, it just has.
And I've just got to decide where there is space to sign it, because it's like there's something on everything and everywhere. Front or back? Where do you want? Oh, there's room in the back. Do you want it signed in the front or the back?
Go for the back if you've got more room.
There's a lot more room in the back. Right, I'm going to sign it on there. Right, here we go. So bear with me a minute. I'm going to put head down. I'm signing, and then I'll show you. Right, I'll let you talk for a minute if you like, and you can tell anybody anything you want. I'll let you have the floor for a minute while I write away.
Don't throw me under the bus like that. I'm going to hit the leave button.
Okay, bye. No, you're all right. But no, it's amazing to have you here with me tonight, Matthew, and it's just so apt after all the years that we've been through and the discussions and the tears and the laughter, and I'm just really, really grateful that you have come and joined me on here tonight. Thank you.
That's all right.
Matthew. I can't think what to write now. All right, it'll come to me. You carry. Oh, Laboshi's here. Hi, Laboshi. Hi. It's my agent. Sorry, don't make you jump then. Oh, I'm so proud. She's so proud of you. Lovely to see you in person, Matthew, she says. So I'll let you say hi for a minute.
Yeah, but it's nice to hear from you, Laboshi.
Sorry?
So I wish I could say the same, but it's nice to hear from Laboshi.
Yeah, she's here. I did send you a link, Laboshi, actually. If you'd like to join us on the screen tonight, my lovely, you are welcome. You are welcome, because you've been a massive part of this journey recently as well.
Come in, I need a bit of backup. I don't know what I'm doing. It's the first time on screen.
Carry on talking, you're all right.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to
talk. You could read out one of your poems. A moment of...
There we go. Sorry about that. I was just sticking the kettle on.
No, that's a good idea.
Oh, you got the boys around. Lavoshi can't come on because you got the boys.
Oh, bless. Well, that shouldn't stop him, Mummy. This is Mummy life here right now. Only thing is my little boy's a bit bigger than me now.
Yeah, just a little. Oh, no. Lavoshi, thank you for everything you've done to help my mother. Because what you've both done together is going to help a lot of people. So congratulations to you as well for this. You played a major part.
Actually, you could read out some of the comments if you like, and just say hi to people. Can you read the comments?
I can. I'm actually looking at them right now.
Ah.
She just put out she's got some screaming children.
Oh.
There I you refuse to give them ice cream.
Yeah, even Lily's quiet tonight.
She's locked up in the living room watching Powerpuff Girls with money.
Oh, bless.
As for Pigeon, I don't know where he's gone. Oh, bless him. He's actually fallen asleep on the desk behind the tablet.
Oh, bless him. I still haven't met him.
There he is.
Oh, bless him. Oh, he's tiny.
He was smaller when we first got him.
Oh, I bet. Oh.
I had a little bit of a concern because as I was setting it up, he kept playing with the stand.
All right, there we go. I got there. Sorry. I won't take that long with all of them. Right. Your book. Oh, it was signed in red.
Thank you.
That's my first signed copy. Woohoo, we got there. We got there. Right, I'll read it out for you. To Matthew, I have loved every moment of being your mum through all the highs and lows, and I am so grateful to you for all that you have taught me. Love, Mum.
Thank you very much. I've got to say, I'm very grateful. Out of everybody in this world, I'm lucky that you ended up being my mum.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Would have drove many people over the cliff a long time ago.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
And I don't know if Tosin's joined us tonight or not. I haven't seen him post anywhere. I think he might have got held up with something. I haven't seen any comments, and I'm pretty sure with Tosin, if he was in the room, he would have commented. So I'm going to pick a colour. Do you know what, Matthew? I'll let you pick a colour, but not red.
Not
Probably
red.
either. Pick a colour. No, not green.
Not red. I'll probably go with purple. I believe you like purple for the spiritual side of things, don't you?
Oh, do you know what? That's a good point, actually, because Tosin's book is purple.
Ah.
This is it. Time to break free. Right, very briefly, before I sign Tosin's copy, and I believe Laboshi's actually received a copy before I did, through the post. Oh, yeah, you finally got there. Yeah, so very briefly, I found a little bit in the front of Tosin's book today, Time to Break Free. This is empowerment coach who ended up being my book mentor, bless him. Right, have you ever heard the phrase, the sky is the limit? I'm sure that you have, but I beg to differ. The sky is not the limit, the mind is. And Tosin is so right with that if you believe it, you can achieve it, as they say. And Tosin's written several books, actually. That's one of them that I need some time out over Christmas to sit and read it. But yeah, absolutely, because the amount of people in this world who've achieved what seems absolutely impossible, because they've set their mind to it. And I think that was one of the reasons this book has come about, because this book, there are so many parents who I've heard when their teenagers are stuck in the bedroom, struggling with depression, not talking to the parents, they go, oh, I give up, I don't know what to do with them, right? And it's like, if you're going to say you give up, you're not going to achieve anything because you've given up. But if you say, I mean, I don't think I ever said I give up, apart from on the odd day, just in exasperated moments. But it was, for me, it was more of a phrase of, I don't know what else to do to help my son, but there must be something out there. And I would always say that there must be some way. There must be a way. There must be somebody out there that can help this. There must be a book that we can find that you can connect with. You know, and there was always this drive to find a solution. And I always felt like I would never give up until I found a way to help Matthew. And that was the difference. Is so many parents say, oh, I give up, I don't know what to do with them. And please, 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 if that's you, do not give up, because there is a way. In fact, it's a lot easier for you now. It's in a book. I didn't have the book. I had to write the book. Believe me, I'd rather have just read it than writing it, like 15 years ago. But we got there. We got there. But don't give up, whatever you do. But if you set your mind to saying there is a way, we will find a way. We will get to the root cause of it. We'll find out what's happened to make you feel that way. We'll look at what changes we can make until you feel better, and just keep going and going. And it's not going to happen overnight. I mean, for Matthew, you'd been depressed from quite young, hadn't you, to start with? And this is so strange. When I go back, actually, the first time, because are you okay for me to say, like, right back?
Go for it.
My mum.
You've literally wrote the book on me now, so I don't.
I'm sure it's in the book, so I can say it on screen. Yeah. And you've proofread the book. You've proofread the book, so it's too late.
Go through all of it.
Okay, enough of it anyway. Matthew was 10 weeks old when we used to try and feed him, and I couldn't look in his eyes. I'm pretty sure that when he was born, he had blue eyes, but 10 weeks later, I'd not been able to look in his eyes anymore. And I was feeding him. He was looking everywhere around the room like this, but just wouldn't look at me. And one of the greatest things about being a mother and feeding your baby is bonding with your baby. And with Matthew, I couldn't get that. Not back then. I'm not saying we haven't now. And at 10 weeks old, I remember my mother sitting in the living room with me while I'm trying to feed him, and he's looking everywhere, like really inquisitive, but he'd never looked at me in those 10 weeks. And I said to my mum, it's almost as if he's autistic. And I had no idea why that came out my mouth, why I said what I did in that moment, apart from because you just wouldn't make eye contact with me. And I had no idea how close to the mark I was with the almost autistic comment, because I had not even heard of Asperger's. And it was 7 years later before somebody even mentioned it to me. And Matthew was diagnosed with Asperger's when he was 8. That was around the time that you were then also going through a really deep, dark time with school.
Very bad.
We were really struggling. And a lot of the lessons in this book actually go right back to then. So it's not even just the last 5 years. We're going back to when you were 8 years old.
Yeah.
No, not. I'm just thinking, actually, some of it is reflection back to then. But also, when you were 9 years old, I remember we took Matthew we used to go to the Asperger's support group in Norwich. I think it's called something different now. Sorry?
Asperger East Anglia, wasn't it?
It was in. I think it might be renamed something different now. I'm not sure. And I know Julianne Buckle, who's was one of the helpers there. I know she's been following this journey all these years later. Bless her.
Oh.
So she's aware of this book coming out. I'm not sure if she's watching tonight, but I had sent her an invite. So so we'd been to the support group, and Matthew at the time when he was in school was like coming out of school at night, had to be 3 hours on a phone or on a little Game Boy. Do you remember the little tiny Nintendo Game Boys, that were little flip top ones? I used to have one of them, and that never left his hand. It was like if he wasn't in school, that was in his hand. And it was only on a really, really good day that Matthew would go out in the garden and play with his sister and with another friend that came around most nights, because we used to babysitter for a friend a lot. And on a really good night, he'd be out there with them for 15 minutes and he'd be in and back on the screens. And other nights, he just wouldn't join in with them at all. So you would like struggled through school, and at home, you were just in your own little world, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I didn't know how.
Yeah, so we went to the support group, and Matthew took his Game Boy in the car, and it's like an hour's journey, and he played it all the way there. And I said, no, you're leaving it in the car. And bearing in mind, this is long before this system of the book. I didn't have all this understanding then. So I was a mum who was frustrated and didn't know what to do. I was struggling. And this is at a point when we made an earlier change, not directly in the system in the book, but I understood the concept of something had to change back then. And I was in the process of trying to decide whether or not I should take Matthew out of school. So we went in the support group that day, and somebody else had put their toy game thing down. So you played that one instead while we're there. And then afterwards, we went out for a walk around the park near the support group before coming home. And Matthew had a few moments for his mind to relax and actually come out of that state of self-reflection, depression. And they say about being in nature is really good and really helpful. And bearing in mind, Matthew's just 9 years old at the time, and he'd got a stick and he's running up and down the boating lake. And if anybody knows Norwich, in Eaton Park, there's this boating lake, which is for like little model remote control boats. And it's just like a wall, just big, massive square breeze block wall with a lake in it.
Big duck pond, basically.
Yeah, big giant pond, but no fish in it. And so Matthew was running up and down by the wall, but dragging a stick in the water. And it didn't look like he's doing anything constructive whatsoever. Just running up and down with a stick in the water. And then all of a sudden, he stopped. And this is, bearing in mind, this is a young man at this time in school who I was constantly being called into the teachers and head teachers because Matthew wouldn't write anything more than his name and date on the paper. So he was having to do all of his schoolwork at home to catch up all the time. We were in the boating lake this way, or this in Norwich, and I was trying to make this decision whether or not to take him out of school to home educate Matthew. And sorry, I got tickled. And all of a sudden he stopped after running up and down with his stick and said, "Why is it that when I walk with the stick, I get ripples, and when I run, I get waves?" And I went, I just sort of stood there for a minute, like, how am I going to answer that? I'm not a scientist. And then I said, imagine you are a particle of water. Or I said, but actually, yes, imagine you're in a room full of people. I said, if you walk through that room full of people really, really carefully, what's going to happen? He said, well, they might have to move out the way a little bit. I said, that's right. You'll make ripples in the room as you walk through. I said, now what happened if the room was full of people and you ran through the room? And he said, well, you'd knock them flying out of the way. And I said, that's what happens with the water, but the particles are really tiny. But it's exactly the same. When you drag the stick through, you get waves when you run and ripples. And you go, oh. And he went off and he went back and he was running up and down doing it again, walking and running to test the theory. And in that moment, I thought, that was probably the best science lesson Matthew's ever had. And we weren't even in a classroom. And it took 2 minutes. I was like, okay, that was it. We took you out of school within the week, didn't we? And we had quite a few good years. And it was during those few good years that you wrote the book, which I had here a minute ago.
You think you put it down on your desk, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. But it took a couple of years. So you were 9 when you came out of school, but you were 13 before you wrote the book. And then we published that one when you were 15, didn't we? It was just before you were 16 that we published that, about a month before.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then it was from the age of 15 onwards, you went really, really downhill. And I honestly didn't know from day to day whether I was going to get phone calls from the police or from the undertakers to say what had happened to Matthew when he'd left the house. And indoors, I felt like I constantly had to have both ears open, both eyes open, constantly be listening, because Matthew, again, was very, very suicidal, very chronically depressed. It was very difficult at times. And I know it was difficult for Matthew. I'm not just saying difficult for me. It was difficult for both of us, in fact, for everybody in the house. So I fully appreciate that as much as Matthew was the one going through the depression, it's everybody in the house was affected by it. And it was beyond that as well, because when you go and visit other family, you take it with you to an extent. And I think in the end, there was one thing you said to me one day was about, you said about, oh, yeah, you've got enough problems on your plate. And if I tell you my problems as well, you won't cope or whatever. And I was like, well, actually, one of the biggest problems on my plate is worrying about you. It'd help me if you did tell me and talk to me, and if we had these conversations. And we did more from there. But anyway, we've digressed a long way, but there's so many stories, and we've got years to tell them now. So many stories, and a lot of it's in these books, a lot of it. But on the back of all that led to me from 26 years ago saying it's almost as if he's autistic, to Matthew being diagnosed at the age of 8, to going through chronic depression from the age of 15 to 20. And it took me a long time to get Matthew to see, we did eventually get you to see a psychologist in the hospital. And he sat there that day and had a really good day. He was like really feeling on top of the world that day. I went, oh, Mum's making it all up. I'm okay. So she signed us off, didn't she?
I was in denial. I didn't want to be depressed.
Yeah. And denial, as we found out in the long run, is like having a flat tire and not being aware of it. Or just saying, no, I haven't got a flat tire, and carrying on driving on anyway. You're going to do more damage. You need to be aware. That is the first step. And the second one is acknowledging you need to do something about it. And you're absolutely right, Matthew. So talking about that, I need to acknowledge I need to do something about Tosin's book. So I still haven't seen him. I've been kind of holding on in case he pops in the room, but I haven't seen him. So, right, here we go. I'll let you talk again for a minute. Have you got any of your poems you can read, or a bit of your book?
Poems? God, I don't know where I put all my poems. As for my book, you have the only copy. No. That's a fib. I do have a copy, but I have no idea where it is.
Ah.
I have got many other books. Not all of them are mine. In fact, none of them up on that shelf are mine. I've picked up some good old random ones along the way. I've got one that says kidnapped and another one based of... Literally, going back to the Asperger's, I am not past it. There are still times when I struggle. There are times when I can't put my finger on something. I ended up finding this on the sales shelf at the library. Oh, there you go. Lost another one. I literally picked up a dictionary on psychology.
Oh, right.
Literally, a whole dictionary. That's a huge book. Just explain it. I shouldn't have done that. Everything's falling off of my shelf now.
Sounds like you need to do some organising.
You have no idea. Before this talk, I literally had to throw everything off of my desk. I can't get my feet underneath. I've got bin bags under there full of stuff that needs to go down charity shops.
I'll tell you what, I know it must be very difficult because the three of you living in a tiny little flat, bless them. And when you moved in there, it was just for you, wasn't it? And then because obviously Jess and Lily as well now, you're poor old Matthew. I mean, I've got a flat bigger than him, and even I've run out of space, and I'm on my own. So yeah, that's one of your goals and dreams, is to get yourself into this new job in the next year, isn't it? That's providing this Tier 4 doesn't get your test delayed again.
Oh God, I hope not.
Oh yeah, Matthew keeps getting his HGV test rescheduled because of the lockdowns. And now we've just been announced today that in this county we're going into Tier 4 from midnight Friday. So yeah, chances are it might not. You might have to ask for a refund and try again later, or maybe find a different route. Write your books. This is the first book. Matthew's actually written the second and halfway through the third. And you're talking about, actually, instead of worrying about the while you're waiting to take your test, you're saying you might start rewriting this, aren't you?
Yes, I think I might actually.
Publicly.
I've passed the theory. The theory certificate lasts for 2 years upwards, I think.
Okay.
So happily cancel the rest of it for now. Wait for everything to calm down outside. I can sit quite happily, work on my books after I've cleared all the junk and the cat off the desk, and finally take that when everything's cleared off. Hang on. So does Chris meant to be Jan now April? Sorry, Yvette, I don't quite understand that message.
So does Chris, meant to be January, now April. Oh, so he's doing a test. Is that HGV?
Oh, Christopher. I thought
Christopher.
I thought you were on about Christmas.
No, Yvette and Christopher. Yeah. Hi, Christopher as well, if he's watching.
Sorry. Before me, would you, Yvette? It's been a long time since I've seen him.
I'm getting there, nearly done with Tosin's.
You wrote a book in 30 days. I'm pretty sure you can write your autograph in a few seconds.
Yeah, but I did that through hitting the dictation button and talking, and it typed it for me. I'm having to handwrite this and listen to you at the same time. Right, here we go. So this one's to Tosin. I'll just show you it's in purple. There we go. It's on there. So this is the second copy signed. The rest of them I'll do off screen so I can concentrate. So I've put to Tosin. Thank you so much for empowering me to believe in myself and achieving the book. Done beats perfect. And I've put that because that's what Tosin kept saying to me about doing it quickly. Done beats perfect. Best wishes and gratitudes, Kay. So that's Tosin's copy. That's your copy. I will get them sent out as soon as I can after Christmas. But they are signed before Christmas. They are done. And that was what he said to me. We'll have it done. And he wanted it on his desk by Christmas. Unfortunately, Royal Mail have put a hold on any mail now going out to mainland Europe. And Tosin is in Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic. So that won't be able to get there before Christmas now anyway, even if I sent it first class tomorrow, the day after Christmas Day. So we're very tight on the deadlines, unfortunately. But it is signed before Christmas here live on StreamYard on Facebook. And we're there. That is a major milestone. Done. Beats perfect, as they say. So not quite the perfect dream we had, but it's done. So yes, thank you so much for joining me tonight, Matthew. That is amazing. And I will get more copies signed up soon for people who, I've got a list of people who have genuinely earned a copy. And I say, Yvette will get a copy. I've got it, and that'll be another purple pen. I did see your message earlier. She wants purple as well. And with a little gift to come with it. Yeah, I know. Yvette has sat through every single one of my 28-day live video challenges and all of the book updates and any of the other videos that I've done for the last probably 6 weeks. Yvette has been there. My front row lady, bless her. I've been so grateful. I really have.
Dedicate. I like it.
Yeah, she has been amazing, a real big support to me. And it's amazing how it doesn't cost the world to be there for somebody and to be there for them every day. And one of the things is when you were going through one of your darkest times when you were like 18, 19, one of the things I did was to ring you every day, wasn't it? And that feels sometimes like that is like just having that little person there beside you with a little torchlight. And that's what it's been like having Yvette by my side through all of this. It's been amazing. And I'm so grateful to everybody on Denise. Denise is in the room. Hi, Denise. I don't know if you are now, but you have been. And Karen. Oh, hi, Karen. And Christina. Mandy as well. Hi, Mandy. Mandy Prevadello. I worked with Mandy at the start of the year before I lost my job. And Mandy, oh, she's such a hoot. She really is. I won't say some of the things you get up to in the office. I can't say it on camera. But honestly, I've got so many people I should be grateful to for this. And I'm just thinking, as well as all the people we've mentioned so far, in the background. Oh, website. I haven't done the website.
No, that's one of the main points for this talk.
Yeah, right. Website is, I'm going to kick us, I hopefully you won't get a kick us off screen, but I'm going to go and find screen share. Let's try this. It's easy for 2 monitors, but I haven't got 2 monitors, so we'll have to go with 1. Screen share. There we go. There's me and you. Share. I don't know if everybody can see that or not. And share audio. Share your entire screen in Share Chrome tab. And I want to share. A minute, cancel that a minute. I need to go and find the website first and then share it. Let's do it this way. I'm not used to this yet, but we're getting there.
You, me both. Took me about 10 minutes to sign on to this chat.
Okay, let's try this again. Screen share. Screen share. Chrome tab. Keen impression. Oh, there we go. It's let me share now. There we go. This is the website. Now, it's done beats perfect, as Tosin says. I've followed that mantra quite strictly this last month. And there is still branding to do. So I've got Sophie Jury and Kieran Bain are still working in the background for me to make sure that I get all the right messages in the wording and the right graphics and taglines and everything like that. But for now, I've got something on the website. So this is the front page. I won't bore you too much about me. There's about me, policies, but let's go straight to the exciting one, the book. On here, what I've done, because it saved me having to spend ages saying, here's the black and white color link, here's the full color link, here's the Kindle link for the download or the Kindle free version. Then this is all on amazon.co.uk. And then for the USA or the rest of the world, it's on amazon.com. So rather than having to go share different links again, I've put it all here in one place to get you going. There should be a full colour version coming out on the USA one soon, I think, but I haven't found the link to it yet. So I'm just waiting for that one to activate. So this is the website, kreeve.co.uk. So you can get the links here to all of the books, whichever one you want to go through to. As we're on sharing, I will also run through quickly on Amazon. Hopefully you can see this okay. There is, right, Brain and Show. This is the paperback, the black and white. So if it just says paperback, that is the black and white version I showed you that I first signed. Where are we up to at the moment? We're down here at 443. It keeps going up and down a lot. Then I've got this one is the colour version. So if you want one with all the full colour diagrams throughout the book, rather than just having to refer to the back page, because the colour wheel is on the back page, so that if you have the black and white version, you still understand what I'm talking about in terms of the colour system. You can go on to any of these and you can read through Brain Unchained. You can read right through to about page 19, I think it is, before you commit to buying. So you can read part of it and see if you like the feel for it. And then there is the Kindle, which says print replica. And the Kindle, because we don't have to print the Kindle, it comes straight through. The Kindle is in full colour. The only thing with the Kindle is we've already discovered is because of all the diagrams and the exercise sheets in there, it's not what we call a flow format. So it's not compatible very easily with the Kindle Paperwhite. And it should work on mobile phones unless you've got an older model of phone or something. But the Kindle should work. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the release. First seen here tonight. Hey, the website, kreeve.co.uk. And the links to all of the books on Amazon. So I'm going to stop sharing that. There's more on the site as well, but you can go and explore now you know the link. Right, are we back on StreamYard? Yay!
There's a lovely little rose in the back. Oh,
do you see that? Do you remember that? Let me go back to there. Where were we?
It's one of your earlier photos, wasn't it? Hey.
That one. That was the peony from when we lived at Sculthorpe. And this peony, I put it in the background because I was talking about it in a mindfulness discussion the other week. And I went down the garden one day and this is what it looked like. This is the actual peony that I was talking about in one of my live videos. And honestly, it was about March, April time. Might have been a bit later, but it was quite early in the year. And it was like one of those days, there was a really cold chill in the wind. And it had obviously been raining, as you can see by the flower. It had been quite a heavy downpour. And I went down the garden expecting to see the flower destroyed. It was the sort of weather you'd find it hard to survive outside in as a human. And yet this beautiful, delicate peony, and I'm not kidding you, the head on it was like this. This peony just sat there looking absolutely gorgeous and untouched by the weather, and all the more beautiful for having the raindrops all over it. And the best way I could describe it was like being in this icy air, but this peony smelled like Turkish delight and fresh iced rain combined. And it was just one of those moments that will stick in my mind forever. and I took this photograph of it, along with a few others. But I love this photograph. I want to get it framed and put on the wall, but I've never got around to doing it.
Well, not like the duck you have in the background.
Yeah, the duck. That was another one of my photos. Another one of my mindful moments, taken quite a few years ago. Just captured a picture that just seemed so perfect. I love having it on the wall and looking at it. So, right, I think we've covered everything. We've covered the book. We've unpackaged them. We've done the signings. We've had chat. We've talked about more things than I probably should have done tonight. And it's been absolutely brilliant that you've been on the call with me. I've loved it. I have. And I am so grateful to everything that I've learned from you along the way as well, or learned to help you, and that we've learned together. The fun we've had a lot of low times, but we've had equally as many good times. We have, and oh, that's the other thing actually. Where's the full colour one? Let me share this briefly. In the full colour version, right in the very back, there is a picture of Matthew and me. That was the day I did the TEDx talk, and Matthew came along to support me at the talk. And on this side is Matthew's little girl. Look at this, bless her. Yeah. She's in the back of the book. And I don't know if you can see on this. I'm trying to get as close as I can without Blair. She's standing on a little stool there, trying to reach Matthew's pull-up bars at the top. Look at that. And I've written on there, don't ever let anyone tell you your goals are out of reach. And she inspired us that day, didn't she? When I caught that photograph, Matthew went through to help pick her up, and I just got the picture just before he got there. And that picture's inspired me so much through the process of writing this book, that don't ever let anyone tell you your goals are out of reach. And that's inspired me to keep going. My granddaughter, bless her. Love her to bits. Love her to bits. Well, thank you so much to everybody who's watched. Oh, we got new comments down here I haven't even seen yet. What have we got?
I've kind of put my phone to the side so I can keep an eye on the comments.
Karen said, there is no more important gift than your time. My favourite mantra. Oh, bless, so true. Amazing hearing your story. Thank you. You're very welcome, Christina, darling. I tell you what, I love chatting with Christina, because Christina, she's such a laugh. But she's, yeah, long time we've seen her.
Somewhere of her punching me in the face.
Oh, more than likely. You probably deserved it. Yeah.
No, that was staged just for the photo.
Yes. Yeah, no, she came to visit once, and we just did a bit of a muck around photo shoot. That's right. Yeah, we did. And I ended up with her sitting on your shoulders and falling off or something. We real major mess around.
Oh yeah, that one. Christina honestly thought she was going to fall. That was a.
That's right. She's sitting on Matthew's shoulders, and all of a sudden they thought she was going to fall, and she went, I got the perfect shot. She's going. It's not the most glamorous, bless her, but a lovely photo. But no, we got some really good photos that day. But no, I've missed chatting with Christina over the years, and hopefully we'll have a catch up online soon, my dear. Hopefully. Right, Mitali has put. So I think Mitali's put an image. Because when they put images on here, I can't see them on StreamYard. I have to go to Facebook later.
I can see it.
I can see what picture she put up, because she puts lovely ones up.
It's a picture of her holding up a congratulations banner.
Oh, thank you, Mitali. Oh, bless. Karen's put, I'm so proud of you both. Congratulations. Thank you. And Yvette's put, wishing you both a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, thank you so much. And yes, we're wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. And if it's not a Merry Christmas this year, because it's going to be a tough one, I get the feeling I'm going to be sitting here on my own, because I'm still not feeling 100%. And I'm a bit worried about going to my parents now, especially knowing how much the local cases have risen. We're going into tier 4. And as much as I've got through this tonight, oh my goodness, I'm feeling it here and here. So, yeah, it might not always be a Merry Christmas, but at very least, make it a peaceful Christmas.
Christmas is what you make it. I'm sure everybody can find a way to still be happy.
Yeah.
And me and my family, we're going to be stuck inside as well, but we are not going to let that defeat us. We are going to have time of our lives the best we can.
Brilliant. I'm so pleased. So pleased. And yes, what I'm saying, for some people, it might be merry. You can have jolly laughs, but you can be happy without having to laugh. That you can still be happy, and that's finding peace with yourself as well. So whatever you do, whether it is a quiet, mindful Christmas and you reflect on all the gratitudes of the year, or whether you're able to have a really good belly laugh and let your hair down with people, be grateful for technology to be able to phone people, to do videos like this, and to be able to keep in touch with people. And who knows what's going to happen. But let's make next year a better one. 2021 has got to be one where everybody learns to take control of their emotions, for better or for worse, whatever happens with the COVID virus, with the Brexit deal that's going through today. Oh my God, I'm not even going to get into political talk.
Oh, yeah, avoid that one. Avoid that.
Yeah. But right now, I tell you what, after watching the news tonight, I would rather spend a Christmas day on my own, if I had to, than be any one of those poor lorry drivers stuck in the airport waiting to get out of the country, not even knowing if they can get into their country for Christmas, let alone to their homes and their families. They are stuck there without access to proper food and water, or struggling to get supplies. They don't have money to go out. They can't go off and get meals because they're isolated there. They haven't got proper toilet facilities. They're just stuck. And when you're just stuck in a little, I mean, you imagine how people feeling stuck at home this year, and then imagine just being stuck in a little tin cab for several days with no purpose. And when your purpose is taken away, or your mission is taken away, and you've got those barriers, that is an extremely emotional time. That really is. And right now, I tell you what, my heart goes out to every single one of them, and to anybody who's had any really severe suffering through this year. So my gratitude is actually being at home safe and sound. Even if I am alone, it's being home safe and sound, and that you're all safe and sound in your home. And I really wish the same for everybody else, and stay that way throughout 2021. Thank you, Matthew, tonight for joining me. Big hugs to Lily and Jess.
And back to you.
Oh, big hug. I can say, look, I can only do it this way. I've got a Ted still. Do you know what? I've had this Teddy so long. I've had him since Matthew was in primary school still, before I took him out of school. He's been around for a while, hasn't he?
Some rather inappropriate things at times.
Has he? Yeah, he does talk, but I won't make him. He actually has a conversation with you, but I won't make him do that tonight. His battery is a bit flat. His batteries are a bit flat, and he doesn't know when to stop. A bit like me. He's learned over the years.
Just roll with it. Just roll with it.
But anyway, yes, that would be great. I've now proven that when you put your mind to it, you can get your book out. I want to see some more of Matthew's books coming out next year. I really do. I would love to see that, because I said to Matthew the other day, I said, if money didn't matter, what would you want to do? And he said, I'd still like to write the books. Don't make excuses. I know you've got your family around you and it's a distraction, but even if you set yourself an hour or two a day and say, right, an hour or two, you've sat here and done this video tonight for an hour without interruptions. And if you can do the same with your book every single night, might not be a 30-day challenge like mine, but I tell you what, that will soon come together.
I can't say this uninterrupted talk has been completely stress-free. The stress has been gone on Jess. She's getting a little upset with Lily getting grumpy with her now, because it's coming up to bed.
Oh, Lily can say hello if you want before we go.
Yeah, I'll bring them out.
If she wants to, but hi.
Lily bird. Oh,
there she is. I can hear her. I can hear her coming. Is my granddaughter. I haven't seen her for ages.
it's bad timing in the middle of getting the backside changed.
Oh, okay. Maybe not then. We'll do that another day. We'll catch up with her another day. But anyway.
I have no idea what she's doing.
We almost got to see Lily. We almost did. But anyway. All right, well, take care, and thank you so much to everybody who sat and listened through tonight. I thought this was going to be like a 15-20-minute video, and we're here like an hour and a quarter later. But I'm grateful. I've been grateful for the company tonight, grateful for the opportunity to talk through the book, the website, and everything, and spend some time with my son. Hugs. And hopefully see you sometime after Christmas, after lockdown. We were hoping to catch up Christmas Day, but it's going to have to be after the Tier 4 is released now. So,
oh, hang on, quickly.
Liz.
Oh.
Hello. Hello. Hello, darling. How are you?
You don't know. Come on, Mum.
Oh, Lily, look, see this. Nanny's got a special book. Hi, Jess. Nanny's got a special book, and in the back of this book, oh, it's not the colour one.
Sweetheart. Look, Nanny,
Lily.
that's a picture of you.
Yeah, there's that one there.
Who's that?
It's Daddy.
That's
Yeah,
right.
good daddy, yeah. And the funny thing is, last week, you know, we talked earlier, Matthew, about Brian Miller, the magician who did the TEDx talk. Oh.
That's all right. It's all right.
You know, we talked earlier about Brian Miller who did the TEDx on
Yes.
how to understand before being understood. And I showed that to Dylan the other night because I was showing him the bit about the magic tricks. And he went, I said, who is that? And he went, that's Uncle Matthew.
That's not my book. It's one of my books, but
You've got a book too. You
Yeah.
love reading, don't you?
Yeah, it's Daddy's book.
Daddy's book, yeah. Yeah, Lily's going to be another big book buff.
right. Stop giving all these other authors free advertising. This is for nannies.
Especially when all we see is a pair of legs. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, that one's not mine. That's Jess's. That's
Right. Are you nearly ready for bed, Lily? Are you tired, girl?
It's this.
That's my pen. Are you ready for bed? Yes.
They're going to show me everything on the desk.
That is coffee.
Yeah, copy that.
Very good. Bless her. She has absolutely no idea the whole world could be watching right now, does she? That's bliss.
Lily. Lily, there's more people than Nanny watching you right now.
This. Hello.
Hello.
Go
I
on.
love you.
Go on.
Annie's
Go
going to
to-
have to go anyway, but I love you.
Go on, sweet.
Like
She's
this.
doing
Go on.
You did an amazing job with her, and I tell you, this just goes to show.
Nanny.
So,
Not till you're older anyway. Go.
it goes to show when you take care of your emotions and you pay it forward. Oh, thank you. Christina says, "Oh, what a lovely family." And she's loud when she tries to be. She's being quiet tonight.
Take them off stage.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to get going, but thank you so much, Matthew, and thank you to everybody for watching. That was a really lovely little treat seeing her at the end tonight. Really lovely. That'll help me get through Christmas now.
Yeah.
All right. You take care. Love you lots. Love to all of you. And thank you to everybody. And any questions at all, just catch them down here. I'll put a link to the website in here as well in the comments afterwards. And any questions, just message me on Facebook or anywhere. I've also got a page and a group that I'm trying to get set up right, and then we'll start working in those more. But there we go. All happening. I can relax for Christmas now. Books out, websites out. Done beats perfect, and the rest will follow up in the new year. And in the meantime, I need to go and finish reading the rest of Tosin's book. And a few others. I've got a long list of them now. So, all right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.
You to everyone. Have a good night. Happy Christmas.
Thank you, Matthew. Bye-bye.